Hi there, I'm here to talk to you about the Denver Airport conspiracy theory. Denver International Airport was commissioned in 1986, I believe it was, and was finished in 1995. That was 2 years over the date that it was meant to be finished at. It had a budget of 4.2 billion and it was meant to be 1.7 billion, which means it was over 3 million over budget. 3 billion over budget. Yeah. Um, The conspiracy theory began due to the shape of the underground blueprints of the runway. The blueprints show that the airport itself was built on 5 underground storage buildings, which were said to be positioned incorrectly and couldn't be used despite the fact that they were totally parallel with each other and the dimensions were all correct. Denver International Airport was built by the New World Airport Commission, which has no record of building any other airport. It has no record of doing any other work other than this specific airport, and therefore it doesn't exist. The person who commissioned the airport also discovered the deadly disease Australia antigen, AUAG, and that is inscribed inside the airport. The conspiracy theory itself suggests that a secret government underground bunker is constructed underneath the airport and is there to house the elites if any sort of nuclear war happens, or if the government is planning a nuclear war, that is some sort of escape route or underground bunker. I completely believe in this conspiracy theory. There is lots of evidence to support this, albeit the evidence I already presented. Denver International Airport was built 25 miles from Denver, whereas Stapleton Airport, which was a fully functioning airport before this, was built only 6 miles from Denver, which seems like a unnecessarily stupid inconvenience to build a new airport miles away from the site's location. The shape of the runways on the airport look like some form of modified swastika. There are 5 runways and there are 4 patterns in a swastika. However, the extra arm could be to house the actual airport building, which is separated from the main square area where the runways take off from. Each runway is between 12,000 to 16,000 feet, whereas Stapleton Airport, the runways were 10,000 feet, which could provide some form of counter-argument for why the new airport was built. However, it would have been far more economically useful to just modify Stapleton Airport rather than build a new airport, because Stapleton was still fully functioning. The artwork inside the airport is also of concern. There's a horse statue outside which has glowing red eyes, which some people refer to as one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. There is a mural inside, there's several murals inside the airport, one of which has a figure in a gas mask, which suggests biological weaponry, holding a curved sword over striking the dove of peace. There is also dying refugees and starving children underneath this figure. The other mural shows several groups of children from different countries wearing different countries' traditional robes, handing buckets and buckets of weapons to a German boy wearing traditional German robes. And underneath these children is a figure, the only colourless thing in the entire mural, lying dead in a ellipse-shaped grave, wearing a gas mask. The third mural shows several children bent over a gaming table on which people are dying, and behind them there are 2 tall buildings, positioned exactly together, burning and exploding due to some explosion with fire coming out of these buildings. There's also a gargoyle in a suitcase when you walk into the airport, baring its claws with blood coming from its fangs. Pleasant things to have in an airport. But yeah, that is the evidence I'm presenting for this conspiracy theory. Do with it what you will.